So you're collaborating with somebody online and you want to send them a folder or a file that's above the maximum limits for your email client. You would normally compress that file and send it. So then what if the person on the other end isn't in the habit of dealing with digital information in that type of way? They're just going to receive it. It's going to look like this blank file here, and this video is for those people. I'm going to walk you through how to install 7Z. You notice that it has a .rar extension, which is a WinRAR archive format. All right, and if I double click on this, Windows doesn't know what to do with it. And I could select here and look at the programs, but there's no programs currently installed. So and we could also browse, but I'm just going to click out of this. And we are going to open up whatever your favorite web browser is and just type 7Z and hit enter. And any one of these 7zip.org URLs is going to work. But if we just click on this one, it gives you a quick overview of pretty much most of the stuff that 7Z does. Actually, this home page gives you a more high-level view. And you can see your unpacking formats, as well as your packing formats. So tar, zip, 7Z. So next you really need to know whether you have 32-bit or 64-bit, and I'll show you how to do that really quickly. You can just right click on computer pretty much anywhere on your system. For example, if you already have a folder open, you could right click here on computer and click on properties, and it's going to bring you right here to your system type. So we can see that this system is a 64-bit, and that's all the information that we really needed to know. So we could close that, and now we can come here and we want to download the 64-bit version. And if you weren't sure and didn't want to walk through those steps, you could come here to download, and they actually have a version that will basically scan your system and determine for you whether you have a 64-bit or 32-bit operating system. So I'm going to just download the 64-bit, and the default folder location is fine for me, and the default name is also fine. I'm just going to click on save. Once that's done, I can just click on this folder right here to get to the default download location for your web browser. Now, if you've changed it, then it'll be in a different location, and you're probably well aware of that. But if you haven't, just go with the defaults. So now that we have acquired our newest copy of 7Z, we're ready to install it. Just double click on the executable. On my computer, user account control is active, so it halts the program just to check with me to see if I want to let this executable make changes on my system, and I do. So I'm going to click yes. So it's giving me an opportunity to change the folder destination for where it's going to be installed. I'm fine with 7Z being installed in my program file, so I'm just going to click install. Okay, so now 7Z is installed. I could simply right click on it, and I have 7Z in my context menu now, and it also added to my context menu, the CRC. If you just want to simply extract your file, you could just come right down here to extract, and it'll extract it right into a folder for you. And so now you could open this up and you can do whatever you had to, or look at, or use. There's one other thing that you could do now that 7zip is installed. If you right click the file, click open, and now we're going to associate the 7zip application with the RAR file format. Click OK, click browse, go to the 7zip folder, and double click on 7zfm, and make sure that always use the selected program to open this kind of file is selected. Click OK. Now when we click on RAR files, the 7zip application GUI will open so that we can select any of these options to do various things to manipulate the archive. I'm just going to close this, and you can save this or delete it. I recommend getting a newer version of 7zip when they have one, because they're always improving the algorithm for the compression. So we're done with this, so I'm going to close it, and that's it. We've installed 7zip, extracted our archive, and now we can work with whatever files the person we're collaborating with is sharing with us. I hope this was helpful.